Trump has taken questions, and he obviously a lot of the questions are going to be about the current day's news with this president in this country. So the president from the Philippines says, he sits there and. A lot of them kind of smile and shake their head. I just wonder what they're thinking when they hear this. But, man, Trump is not holding back. Now, so the question is this, really. How far does this need to go for you? I'm of the belief that it's probably not going to be Obama, but some people have got to be made examples of. I mean, true examples of some of these people. They wrecked people's lives to continue the hoodwink, to continue the scam. So they had absolutely not a care in the world for some of the people's lives in the Trump circles that they ruined financially, professionally. They just didn't care.
General Flynn, for instance.
Oh yeah, Mike Flynn. They ruined people's lives to continue the lie about this Russiagate, this Russia hoax. So I think it's fair game. Okay, we're going to find where you broke laws, and you will be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Now, I'm just curious what you think. If this is one of those where I think, well, okay, we just need to know the truth, and that's enough for me. Are you in that camp? I'm not. I'm in punishment all the way. Punish these people. I'm speaking legally, of course. Wreck their lives the way they wrecked the lives of people like General Flynn and so many others. Put some of them in solitary confinement for months on end while they're waiting for trials. Who was there was one guy associated with Trump early on, and he had some associations with Ukraine, but he was put in solitary confinement. Like it was evil. It really was. Trump's right. So what is the end? How far do you want them to go with this? Are you okay with it? Just saying, okay, well, now we know the truth. All right, next chapter, move on. No, I want punishments.
I think you got to go after punishment, because just having the facts, there's a lot of people out there that are like, yeah, and keep it up, that are on the left. At some point, there should be some consequences if they can be achieved. And of course, Obama's office didn't have much to say about it yesterday. He was not very convincing. He still has a spokesperson, by the way. The man who's never seen a camera he didn't like has a spokesperson. And of course, it was the usual smarmy stuff. Out of the respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. But these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction.
Distraction? Really?
I did not read that in Obama's voice. You are very welcome.
We would have been here all morning if you would have. Yeah. Hey, who we got here?
Elvis.
Oh, it's Elvis. Hey. Hello, Elvis.
Elvis is in the building, baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, now on this Obama-Trump thing, I think every one of them ought to go to jail if they are declared, if they are found guilty.
Correct.
And they ought to get the fullest extent of the law, like they've been doing everybody else. Because what do they keep saying? No one is above the law.
But Elvis, some of the people that they ruined their lives, they wrap them up somehow in their colluded effort to tell you a lie. And I wonder if, the Mike Flynn's of the world, some of those people were actually probably not guilty.
I see that now.
They were accused of lying SOBs.
I fully agree with that. They got to make things up to make it look good for the voters, including the illegal voters. Come on now.
Yeah. There goes Elvis, everybody. Elvis has left the building.
We got a couple of weeks till Elvis week. He's got his week. So I guess, thank you so much, Elvis, for chiming in. I know you've got a lot to plan, so we appreciate you for doing that. 901-683-0989. And 210 chimes in and says, treason is punishable by death. Fact check true. That is correct.
how far do you go with it? How far do you want this Department of Justice to go with this? Tulsi Gabbard has released the documents. We posted a link to those documents on our Twitter X page. You can find that link and sit and read all 113 pages if you choose, but it looks pretty cut and dry to me. They knew in the initial reports from the Department of Justice and the intel community that there was no concerted effort to hack into the election, to change the election. None of what they were saying later was true. So the intel community came and said, yeah, there's really nothing here with Russia. And Obama turned around and said, we need to make something here.
How about Tulsi Gabbard? Just opening up a can of worms. Good for her.
So how far do you want this thing to go? Tim mentioned treason.
Well, no, 210 mentioned treason.
Yeah, but I'm saying it is that is also words that are being used to describe what happened. And the merry band of losers that they had in the Department of Justice at this point, was it Clapper, Comey? Susan Rice was involved in this, wasn't she?
Susan Rice? Yeah. And let's not forget, this is the same administration that got Lois Lerner in the IRS after people, too. So, at what point, I mean, is shining a light on these folks enough? Or is it time that somebody got some consequences and maybe put a stop to, I mean, is this the last best chance to really identify and punish the top of the swamp? Or maybe it's the bottom. Maybe the bottom of the swamp is a better phraseology. Maybe this is the last best chance. Because, I mean, is there really another unicorn like Donald Trump that's not afraid to say and do what he thinks he should do and say?
That's one of the reasons why I want this done as far as they go, as far as you can with this investigation, because I don't think there will be another president in our lifetime who has the ability to operate the way Trump does and get things done the way he does. I think this will be our last opportunity to really have accountability. They all, the word accountability and transparency and all that nonsense always comes out, but is always used by politicians. But this administration seems to be acting some truth to those things. And I think Trump will be probably the last president in our lifetime that we'll see that has this. Maybe not. Maybe J.D. Vance, if he wins again, if he wins in 28, he would continue, but hold them as to the farthest extent of the law, and maybe even then some. Kevin's on the line. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
All right.
Good. Well, Ditch, you're exactly right, but I'll take it one step further. If they don't go as far as they can, it's not going to stop until you hold the highest person you can accountable to the full extent that you're able to. People are going to say, "Oh, I can get away with it."
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what the bureaucracy has done for years, and that's what politicians have done for years. They realize they can just, put it in a classified document. No one will ever see it again.
On the Kevin meter, given the fact that Trump had said lock her up regarding Hillary, and then immediately after he got elected, but before sworn in, he said he wasn't going to lock her up. What's your confidence level that this time around there will be a wholehearted pursuit of these folks?
I'm 100% confident that he'll pursue it as far as he possibly can, because in his first term, he still had way too many people from within the swamp. I even saw a report today that Senator Cotton from our next door neighbor in Arkansas is trying to get legislation passed that will make it harder for things to come out, like what DNI Gabbard is doing now. So you still have so many swamp people that are there that he's fighting, but he's got a much better team around him this time that are going to town for him. And if I could just throw in one last thing regarding your comment, Tim, about treason. Politicians are famous for euphemizing things. They don't call each other liars. Oh, they misspoke. Oh, all the information wasn't there. For President Trump to put out the word treason means he has the information there, at least in my opinion.
Well, Trump has always done that. He's always This goes all the way back to the wiretapping his office. When he said that, everyone was like, "Oh, this guy's nuts. What's he talking about?" But when he drops things out there in sometimes in conspicuous ways, and you learn to read between the lines of what he's saying, you understand that he knows more than we do, and it's sort of his way of telling us that and signaling that. Don't you agree, Kevin?
100%. People don't realize. I mean, we've now had President Trump on the scene for 10 years. And granted, it may have taken 10 years for some of this stuff to move from the conspiracy theory column to the reality column. But you still have so many people who are blinded by legacy media instead of listening and using their brains for something other than a seat cushion.
I know what Kevin's doing right now. He's going to the store to get him some stuff for the next RNC. He can't wait to get to that next RNC convention.
You know it.
And then you guys got a new school superintendent out in Fayette County, right?
We did, and we just replaced another school board member. We unfortunately lost one to death, and the county commission gave us another good conservative. So we are well on our way to solidifying and moving up our school system here in Fayette County.
We're so jealous. We're so jealous. Conservative board, lower taxes. We just live vicariously through you sometimes, Kevin.
Come and join us.
There he is,
right.
Kevin. All right. Thanks, Kevin. We got to get to something called the pop quiz. That's where Tim asks you a question. You know, typically...
Hey, Salaka. But hey, Shalom. All right, first and foremost, before I get started, I'm gonna give all honor and glory and power to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash. I want to say double honors to our elders, our great apostles, great millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well, being a great example to Israel. All right, man, the elect. I want to say peace and blessings to the hope of the elect in the four corner, pushing the truth and sincerity. All right, the great song that you brought in the bar. All right, early morning stretch. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, who gives me the inspiration and motivation to do so, all right, for the evil times to come. All right, to give those that have ears to hear and eyes to see, the protection, the hedge, which is a covering. All right, when you go into the scripture, it's known as a shield. All right, Proverbs 30:5. All right, every word of the Most High Yahweh is pure. All right, but he is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. All right, as we continue to come to these hard times, all right, the Lord have stated, all right, Jacob trouble, Jeremiah 30:7. All right, alas, for that day is great. All right, and none is like it, even a time of Jacob trouble. All right, and this was being prepared. All right, as you see the elites, the banking family. All right, you seeing the back and forward. All right, with the Democrat and Republican. All right, this is all set up and designed. All right, to bring in the new world order. All right, but things are put in place to keep people in a confused state. All right, but that's why us as the household of faith, we can't be ignorant. All right, to Satan's devices. Because one of his devices is the media. All right, he trying to control the way people think, people react. All right, when you hear certain things on the radio station or you watching the news, you seeing certain things. All right, that's the elites playing on the minds of the people. That's why we gotta be tapped in, through the spirit and probably how about Shema Shai in these scriptures. All right, because these scriptures give us indicator of what is what, who is who, and when is when. All right. So like I say, it's gonna be a shield. All right, and this shield is to protect you. Going to Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and the fear of Yahweh is his treasure. All right, because what's coming down the pipeline, all right, we're gonna need, all right, the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shah, because these devils ain't finna play fair. All right, because the Most High Yahweh, all right, is making mean on his word. Now, I'm gonna go into Revelation 13:11. All right, because that's exactly what you see going on with Donald Trump now trying to call Obama for treason. Basically, like he stole the election. All right, and that's going to be the talk of the town. But behind closed doors, all right, some of the 83rd chapter happening. Isaiah 10:1 happening. Micah 2:1 is happening. All right, behind closed doors, but in the face of the people, this is this, that, and that. They calling each other out, making a scene. All right, it's all propaganda. All right, it's all to control the minds of the people and keep them off what's more important, man, which is this devil, all right, planning to come down, having great wrath. This devil, all right, is finna bring in his new world order, all right? But people not seeing it because people so caught up in the gospel, the gossip, so like, in the gossip, all right? So they're not seeing. So this is Revelation 13, and I say, Lord, willing y'all brothers and sisters be edified, while I lay the law down. This is Revelation 13 and 11. It said, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. And that's what you have in modern day, all right, which is Rome 2.0. All right, the same thing, all right, how it was ran back in the Romans, back in Rome, all right? Now you got a Democrat and Republican, all right, playing both sides. The same bird, but just two wings. All right? Because why? They got the agenda. Remember, this devil known as Esau Edom, all right, he's known as a serpent. When you go into the serpent is subtiles, crafty, all right, sneaky, all right, and this devil, all right, and his character is the same way. All right? Slowly but surely, all right, he's sizing the people up. That's a snake. A snake size someone up before it, take hold of him and try to make him his prey. All right, and that's what you see with the media. That's what you see, all right, with the elites, all right, the government, all right, they sizing the people up. You see, because remember, Revelation 12:12 says that he's going to come down having great wrath, nor did he have no but a short time. All right, so these things that's happening in the world and the things that they put forth on the media, there's a symbol that symbolizes them sizing the people up, man. So when he come, he know how to come. All right, and the serpent, when you, I think it was an article, one article, they were saying how a woman was sleeping with her snake, right? But the whole time the snake was sleeping in the bed with her, he was sizing her up. Basically, he was setting her up that, therefore, if he able to get hold of her sweet, so he gonna swallow her up, So that's the elites, all right? That's what these elites are doing. They trying to size the people up. That's why they put out certain hints. They bring certain confusion. They throw out, a little march here, like we just had dealing with California, them little protesters, all right? What they did, that was Esau sizing the people up, man, because he know when he bring in the martial law troops, he know when he bring in, all right, foreign troops, all right, what the ticket gonna be, all right? Remember, Revelation 12:12, all right? We speaking about Jacob's trouble, man, all right? So Esau sizing the people up. All right, so when he come, he gonna come, but guess what? Who gonna be controlling him when they come? Yahweh Shema Shah. All right. So let's stay aware. That's why the scriptures say, watch, therefore, and pray always. All right, that you be accounted worthy to escape. All right, because if we don't watch, all right, then guess what? We're gonna be caught off guard. All right, and what Yahweh Shah say? All right, he gonna come as a thief in the night. So we always gotta be on our watch. We always gotta be tapped into, what's going on in the world. All right, tapped into prophecy. Watching the apostles, seeing what's next. As the prophets are the spiritual newscasters. All right, giving you the time, all right, of the destruction. So you're supposed to be watching. But it says the world is praying because you want the Lord to have mercy on you. All right? Yeah, we hope for mercy, but that mercy is not granted until the Lord has shown you that mercy. That's why we've known as the hope of the elect, because we hope to be saved. We hope to be chosen. All right? But it's criteria you have to meet to be chosen. That's why, you want to stay and endure. All right? Right. Then it says, verse 12, It said he exercised all the power of the first beast, which was going to Rome before him, and caused the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whom deadly wound was healed. And now in their design is going to their mark. All right, going into that mark, which is the Karag, which is the MOTB. You know, that's the plans of the wicked. All right, but faith in Yahweh Shema Shah let you know, all right, that the triumphant of the wicked is short. You see, so it's all set up design. That's why faith is important. Cause you ever heard a term say, you ever heard a term called, you know, it's like it's hidden in plain sight, but it's so clear. Man, how the hell it go? Damn, it was something like, it's so true, it's clear on it. Something in that nature. It's so true, it's clear on it. Like you able to, you know, individual like see through it. You know, but you think of it as spiritual, right? It's so true, it's clear on it, because everything that's written in the scriptures, we actually seeing it happening, you know what I'm saying, on earth, and a lot of people don't believe it. You know, especially when it comes down to the charagma. The charagma in Revelation, right where I'm at, right, 13, right? When you jump to 16, it says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehand. So when you go to these videos, all right, if you tap in on YouTube, all right, and when you see these pictures that brothers be putting up, all right, what design that you see? You see a needle going to the left or the right hand, right? You see Elon Musk, all right, and dealing with this Neuralink, is dealing with brain implants. All right, you seeing all these devices, but it tied into exactly what the scriptures say. You see, that's how it's so plain, it's clear on it. That's it, so plain, it's clear on it. You know, that people can't even see it, and they see it. You know? That's why us, that's the household of faith, hey, that's why faith is important. People see something and don't even believe it. That's cold. All right, but it says, and he do great wonders. So he making fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. That was World War II. All right, that atomic bomb. All right, that was Esau, you know, going back to World War II. So these things happen, right? So it said, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. And those miracles, him with this technology, man. All right, he able to make the lame walk. He able to make the blind to see. You know, he able to make the deaf hear. All right, with this technology, I wish I had some fucking Wi-Fi on my phone. I can, you know, I could be putting some of these videos up. All right, to show you. All right, him and his technology, man. The Lord had given him a device. All right, but he gonna try to use it. All right, to keep his kingdom alive, man. But it says, and he deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, right? And he had power to do in sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast, which had wound by the sword and did live. All right, and that's why Babylon the Great, which is Rome 2.0, is going to be destroyed. You know, Yahweh shall back that up. But all these things must come to pass. All right, all these things must be fulfilled before Yahweh shall crack them clouds. You see, we're in that time, all right, that the deadly wound was here. But guess what? We're in no time, all right, that this bitch finna go out by fire. Because Babylon cannot be healed. You see? But the brother got Psalm 73 and 6. GNT. It says, so they wear pride like a necklace and violence like a robe. Yeah, that's Esau. Because that's how he get down. And that's how he been got down. That's why that same spirit, you know, you go all the way back to what the spirit of Cain. You know, instead of talking it out, instead of being a man, what he did, he resorted to violence. You know, and when you look at the power that be today and how they conquer the earth, and if they put a decree out, all right, and then the other nations don't go with it or bow down to it, what happened? They take action. You know, they cover fields. That's Africa too. You know, they take it and cover fields by violence. You know, oppress a man in his house. That's how Esau get down. So yeah, they wear their pride like a necklace. The American dream, you know, motherfuckers proud to be American. You know, but it says, and violent like a robe, their hearts pour out evil, and their minds are busy with wicked schemes. That's it. And that's going into what? The MOTB, because every day they getting closer and closer, all right, to fulfilling, all right, their so-called destiny. But it's all in the plans of the Heavenly Father Yahweh. That's something that you can't forget. Job 14:5 say, his days and his numbers of his months are with thee. You know, they have pointed a bound that he cannot pass. So that's the Heavenly Father setting the devil up, all right, to just do exactly what needed to be done to fulfill his will. All right, and he have been given the ability, all right, to make this device to bring forth the wrath of the Lord. Because remember, you go into Proverbs 16:4, one of my favorite precepts, the Most High Yahweh created all things for himself, but he said, yea, even the wicked, for the what? For the day of evil. All right, and we know the wicked is Esau Edom, even though 2/3 of our people are wicked, but the wicked is Esau Edom, man. All right, and the Lord have raised him up, all right, gave him this great power, all right, just to destroy him and declare his name in the earth once and for all. You see? Because he the one that's going to pull out and bring in Jacob trouble. That's the Lord. Like I say, he created the wicked for the day of evil. So that's why he created Esau, when it's all boiled down, to bring in the day of evil. All right? So I'm going to go and take myself, go in, Lord willing. You know, y'all brothers and sisters edified. You know, once again, give all honor and glory and power to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Hakudash. Double honor to our elders, and peace and bless the hope of elect. Next time, Shalom, Abba Bob, Barak Ha'akim. May the Lord continue to bless y'all morning. All right?